Hi, I'm Wayde Kirvida from CustomFIRE, and I'm about to deliver this new pumper to Mount Calvary, Wisconsin. But before that, we're going to do a walk-around video. The customer made some great design decisions before the contract, and then actually enhanced the design more during the build for a fantastic outcome. This truck is built on a Spartan Gladiator chassis. It has an extra long 4-door cab, seating for 6. It has the bustle back because you can probably tell already that the pump controls are inside the cab. Powering this truck is a Cummins X12 with 525 horsepower and an Allison EBS 4000 transmission. It carries a Hale 2000 GPM QMax fire pump and a 1,000-gallon poly tank. The apparatus body is constructed of stainless steel. It features a front suction, a walkway down the center of 2 hose beds. It's also equipped with a Wilbert Profiler light tower. As you can probably tell, it's equipped with Whelen M-Series warning lights, Whelen Pioneer single pane scene lights upper sides, and then the front brow light is a high-vis FT72. This truck measures 36 feet in length and weighs 45,000 pounds with water. We obviously have a front suction hose already positioned on the front bumper, and to aid access to the bumper line, they have a drop-down fascia on the front bumper. You can see that the center of the front bumper hinges down to yield access to the bumper line when the front suction hose is still connected and laying on top of the bumper. It's just a nice feature so they don't have to mess with that front suction if they're not setting up for draft right away. As I mentioned, the cab is an extra long 4-door. That means it measures 74 inches from the axle to the back of cab. And on a Spartan chassis, the engine tunnel stops at the front axle. So essentially you have 74 inches of interior space usable inside this cab. It's extremely spacious. That combined with the 100-inch width and the 24-inch raised roof means it's one of the largest cabs in the industry. The interior of the cab is laid out with 2 center rear-facing seats and 2 outboard forward-facing seats. It's actually not a very typical layout, but it worked really well because they have some nice cabinetry on either side in the rear-facing position, and it just gives us very airy and open, great visibility inside the cab. The apparatus body on this truck is very symmetrical, meaning that both sides look the same. That's due to the fact that we have slide-in folding tank and slide-in ladders at the rear. You'll see with the compartment doors open that they have quite a variety of equipment storage devices. Starting at the pump panel, we have a booster reel hidden over the fire pump with a fair lead through the access door. We have poly speedlay trays located behind the pump to provide additional access at the front when the cab is raised. We have some bonus storage below those speedlays. And finally, in the front officer compartment, we have some adjustable shelves, tool chest of drawers, and then some pegboard mounted on the upper wall. Over the rear wheels, we also have a swing-out tool board and additional pegboard. And then in the rear compartment, we have a pull-out floor tray and a couple adjustable shelves. And then they also have storage for 6 air bottles within the wheel well. So we're standing in the rear crew area of this truck here, and we have the enclosed top mount pump panel, which is a very common style of truck for CustomFIRE. A little bit unique in this apparatus is that we have 2 center rear facing seats and then 2 outboard forward facing seats. The extra long 4-door cab provides ample space for that. We have the Bostrom fold and hold seats with the IMMI air bottle brackets, some helmet holders down below the pump panel. And then the pump panel itself is just very well laid out. Everything's organized and legible and just easy to identify and operate. I mentioned that we have a Hale QMax 2000 GPM fire pump. Installed on that, we have Trident's automatic air primer, and then we have pre-primes on both sides, the front and the rear intake. Those intakes are all gated with Akron 6-inch electric butterfly valves. And then we have push-pull controls on the discharges. FoamPro 2001 foam system. And then you may have noticed the new Fire Research Pump Boss controller, as well as cameras for front and rear visibility, and a VMUX Vista allowing them to just control the same operations that they can from the dashboard: scene lighting, warning lighting, door open indicators, and that sort of thing. And what you can't see in the view right now is that we have a couple nice EMS compartments outboard of the rear facing seats, easily accessible from the ground. You just reach in through the open cab door. And then we have a lockbox in the cab for keys, and just, you know, a very open and great work environment, both for, you know, operating the fire pump, but also for rehab and just general IC functions. So I mentioned that the body is very symmetrical, and I was not kidding. They actually have tool chests on both sides of the body. We have pegboard on both sides of the body, adjustable shelves, roll-out tray. And on this side, though, they do have a small pull-out tool board, which is great for mounting adapters and you know, spanner wrenches and the sort. The driver's side of the truck does not have a booster reel, of course, but we obviously have the speed lays and storage below those as well. And then finally, the forward portion of the wheel well has 2 fire extinguishers, and then the fuel fill in the rear portion. One thing I think is worth calling out is just the beautiful aesthetic of this truck. It's just a very classic fire truck look with the white over red and the gold pinstriping and corner scrolls, along with the gold leaf lettering, and then the beautiful decal work that this customer chose. I've talked about the symmetrical nature of this design, and that's very evident here. The center of the truck has a swing out drop down ladder, providing access to a center walkway. On each side we have hose beds with hinged tread-bright aluminum lids. At the front of the walkway is a narrow Wilbert Profiler light tower, and then ahead of that is the remote deck gun and the fill stacks for the foam and water tanks. I also mentioned that they put a lot of thought into the design before the contract. And what I mean by that is they were really trying to maintain uniformity in their fleet and how that trucks operate. They're replacing a truck with a folding tank on the right side of the body. That's actually what they bought, and during the pre-build they elected to add some additional compartmentation and change to a slide-in folding tank and ladders. And so they got, you know, very symmetrical compartments on both sides. They maintained their 1,000-gallon tank capacity. They really wanted a low body, so they had great visibility. They maintained that. And overall, just a very safe and functional environment on this truck. With the various doors open, you can see that we have storage for a 3-section ladder, as well as a roof ladder and pike poles. On the right side, there's an open sleeve for a folding tank, and then a couple sleeves for 2 10-foot hard hoses. And then, just because we have some bonus area, if you will, behind underneath the ladder, we provided a couple doors for some added storage right there. You know, this truck has the tank extending further back than a typical truck with a large compartment at the rear. That's how we're able to maintain the low height and the water capacity, and also all that storage for slide-in equipment. All right, up here I have the hose bed on each side of me on this walkway. As I mentioned, it's just a safe and easy environment to work off of. Nice walkway with floor drains and LED lighting. Excellent handrails at all locations. The rear discharges are easy to reach. And then just great lighting for the tailboard and step surfaces. And then, of course, scene lighting and warning lights. The hose bed covers flip up easily. They're supported with gas struts at the front. We have adjustable dividers, giving them some options in how they arrange their fire hose. Our relationship with the Mount Calvary Fire Department began with a heavy rescue about 18 years ago, and they've come back to us for their new frontline pumper. This truck was really fun to design. We're extremely pleased with the results. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and we appreciate the time you take to watch these. I'm Wayde Kirvida from CustomFIRE. If you're in the market for a new apparatus, please look us up at www.customfire.com. Find us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.